live from the mill on the campus of Noblesville High School. Hamilton County Television and Hometown Television Sports proudly present Hamilton County Basketball. Tonight, the semifinal game of the Noblesville Holiday Tournament. Before we talk about the game, we'd like to give a special thanks to all of our Hometown Television sponsors. That includes Ivy Tech, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith Jewelers, Mark Hairbrandt, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, and Indiana Restoration. My name is Brad Silbert. I'm here this evening with Craig Atkins, the voice of the Millers. And so far today, we have seen 4 games today, and we're down to the last 2 games to the championship series here in this great tournament. Craig, it has been a wonderful 2 days of basketball here at the Mill.
Yeah, always is for the Noblesville Holiday Tournament, this being the 5th year of this tournament. And I guess the objective even last year with before Fishers came in the fold of the tournament this year and Avon was in, was to hopefully to not get those conference foes, Avon and Noblesville last year, Fishers and Noblesville this year, to get them to not play each other, or at least not until the championship game. But unfortunately, both of these two weren't able to get the win this afternoon, or actually this morning or early afternoon. Fishers taken by quite a surprise as they lost 92-45 to the Pike Red Devils in the first game today.
Well, you know, when Perry and I did that game this morning, it was just like the first half of that game. It was like 2 totally different games, Craig. In the first half, there was a 6-point difference at halftime, and we kind of looked at each other and thought, man, this thing's sailing right along. In the second half, the Pike Red Devils just came out and had several things going in their favor. Number one, they were on fire. They put a shot up, and it went in. I don't care where they shot the ball from. It was going in. In the Fishers Tigers, they were lucky to get shots off, and when they did manage to get a shot off, they were lucky to get a basket. And when they didn't get a basket, they just never got the second chances.
Yeah, I mean, if you're shooting that well in the second half of play, and you're getting everything to fall, it just you have to catch the opponent on their heels. And that they got Fishers on their heels, back on their heels right away, and Fishers just couldn't recover, and ended up being a 47-point win for Pike over Fishers in that first game. And then Noblesville narrowly loses 62-59 to the undefeated Crown Point Bulldogs. And just, I mean, a team that Clint Swan just keeps growing and growing with every year. You know, he recycles some out, gets some players like Grant Galen. Now with the Indiana Hoosiers, hasn't seen much action this season. But
in the other part of that Crown Point Noblesville game was that game really came right down to the wire. There was just absolutely no doubt about it. When there was 10 seconds left in that game, you did not know who was going to win that game yet. And then Crown Point got a couple breaks and managed to get a couple plays in there, and they managed to get the 3-point victory over the Millers. So here we go, and Craig, take it away.
A few changes in the starting lineup from about 3 weeks ago when these teams met, as Terry Hicks jumps up center with Nolan Ginther, and back the other way, Rico Duncan overshoots actually a strong layup, goes over and off the front of the rim. Rebound by Reed Stevens. He in the starting lineup wasn't back on December 2nd with Jamil Turner Hall. Solagi in and out with that 3. That thing spun around. Rico Duncan gets the board.
That thing spun around about 4 times, and I thought it was down one time, out another, and then down. It finally came back out, and Rico Duncan brings it down for the Millers.
Yeah, Duncan has been a mainstay of late in the Noblesville lineup along with Ryan Barnes. Going to be bringing Grant Gremmel and Corby Mertens both off the bench. Last year, as a junior, Corby Mertens was better off the bench. He's more of a 6-man player than he is a starter. I think he maybe one of those players that fuels off that. Flincham a 3 up top. No. Offensive board there by Ginther. McGuire Plummer now has it. Drives. No. Ginther the board again.
Flincham. See if the third time's the charm.
Nope. And a rebound by Reed Stevens.
Man-to-man defense the first time down against the Tigers, and it was pretty effective.
Yeah. You know, it's one thing that Noblesville has switched out of, and they're going to some man-to-man because I think they figured out that 2-3 zone isn't gonna do it against every opponent.
Nice rebound there by McGuire Plummer.
Plummer skied for that one. We're still 0-0, a minute and a half into this. Craig Atkins with Brad Silbert. Glad you've joined us here. This is the third place game, if you will. And then get there high off the glass, and that bucket goes in, and we're
finally got a score.
Yeah, Salaji, the 3 off the mark. Barnes, the board.
Well, Salaji and Turner Hall and Willie Jackson all need to have big games tonight if the Tigers are going to have success. For the Millers, they've got to get a good performance not only out of Ginther but out of Flincham and Corby Mertens and probably Ryan Barnes in a substitute role. Barnes had a good game earlier today.
Both teams being a little bit methodical here as obviously they know each other extremely well. They dish it. Ginther goes down underneath on Terry Hicks. No. Gets his own rebound back up off the glass and in. Ginther's got 4 and he's got 3 rebounds all offensively, and it's 4-0 Noblesville.
That was a good effort by Ginther. He just held his ground, got the rebound, and away he went.
Kind of squared his body up so he made sure he got the rebound off the miss. Looks like we're going to see the first Fishers sub come to the scorer's table. Jason Slane getting ready.
He saw some action earlier today, but not a whole lot.
Armand Franklin out top. And one person we thought that might start, Willie Jackson.
Haven't seen him off the bench yet.
3 minutes into this, Reed Stevens left wing 3, no. That one bounces twice and Ginther deflects it to himself, and back the other way goes Noblesville.
Ginther's
Plummer.
size helped him with that rebound.
Flincham, 3, got it. And Joe Leonard and company over there in red want to talk about it.
We'll take a moment here to remind you that Ivy Tech prepares Indiana residents to learn, live, and work in a diverse, competitive environment. To answer any questions on enrolling or general information, visit their website, www.ivytech.edu, or give them a call at 317-921-4300. We'd also like to remind you that Logan Street Signs and Banners specializes in last-minute signage and banners, serving at Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Contact them at 317-773-7200 or visit their website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. A strong start for the Millers, Craig.
Speaking of Logan Street Signs and Banners, next week, the official 25th anniversary.
Yes, I was going to mention that later.
But you know the quirky stat about that? It was only on Logan Street for 3 years.
Yep.
Jim may have laughed, but he doesn't have a headset on. I think Will might be laughing up there. Back to it out of Fisher's timeout.
I think he was. The picture was bobbing up and down a little.
Down low, Slane now in the game. Little baby hook, and no. Ginther deflects out of bounds over Reed Stevens, and the Tigers will keep it. 4:06 left first quarter. It's Noblesville 7, Fishers 0.
One of the things you have to wonder about in this game is psychologically, how are the Tigers feeling after having lost by over 40 points in that earlier game today? And what effect is that going to have on them coming out here?
You know, and that game being at 10 a.m., they were done just before noon, and now having to play again, 6 hours later. It's got to be something on the brain a little bit all afternoon. You wonder what these high school kids are thinking about.
It's also a second game for both teams. So
right.
From that standpoint, everything's even. But they really took a beating this afternoon, especially in that second half.
And like we said, not exactly how these two ball clubs thought they would wind up their second day. They wanted to be playing for the championship against each other, but obviously they weren't able to make that happen. As we see, Willie Jackson coming in number 5 for Fishers and number 12 Corby Mertens for Noblesville. They both enter.
Millers with their first turnover of the night. That one went off the hands of Ginther and went out of bounds. Tigers still yet to get on the scoreboard.
We're at 3.5 left first quarter. Turner Hall to Salaji. tight Noblesville defense. Now Armand Franklin drives on Ryan Barnes.
So far, it's just been 1 and out every time the Tigers have shot.
Layup too strong. Ginther up off the glass. 3 assists already for McGuire Plummer.
6 points for Ginther.
6 of the 9 by Nolan Ginther. Turner Hall floats one from the left baseline with his left hand, and Fishers finally gets on literally with 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. It's 9-2 Noblesville.
So Fishers had a very, very slow start in their first game yesterday. That one's going to count, and there's going to be a chance for a 3-point play there by McGuire Plummer.
That'll be on Slane, it looks like, number 33.
Yeah, that's who they call it on. If we're not sure, all we got to do is listen to Bob Tremaine. He'll tell us who.
Yeah, it's been kind of a PA announcer carousel, as obviously Noblesville's full-time PA guy for the boys. Kevin Cole has done some games. Rich Harden. And free throw in and out. Hits both sides of the rim for McGuire Plummer. 11-2 after he...
Wow, long 3 there by Jamil Turner Hall.
He's got all 5 Tigers points, and it's 11-5. Now we see Grant Grimmel peel off his warm-up. Flincham, right elbow, nothing but net right over Szilagyi.
Flincham averages 14 points. He's at 5 already here in the first quarter.
He's kind of trailed off in recent games from, through the first 3 or 4, averaging 22 points a game. There's number 10, Joe Counts.
All of a sudden, this is down to a 5-point game.
After being 7-0, it's now an 8-6 Fishers run. Ginther back out. 3-pointer Plummer, no. Deflected, and they're going to get Ginther on a foul. Didn't look like there was a whole lot of contact, but probably enough to...
First team foul of the half for the Millers.
Nick Mills, number 5, now in the contest for Noblesville, along with Grimmel.
It's been a pretty physical game, and with 1:45 left in the quarter, that's only the second foul called in the entire game.
Counts for 3. Off the mark. Barnes the board, his 3rd. And Noblesville back the other way. Nick Mills has it at the point.
Part of the reasons the Millers have had success so far this afternoon defensively on the boards, they've got 2 and 3 guys under there, keeping the Tigers out of their second chances.
A little floater by Max Flincham. He's got 7. And kind of weave through defenders there. And about a 10-footer gets him his 7th point. And that's the deficit right now for Fishers, 15-8. Counts inside, soft, and no. Grant Grimmel the board.
Once again, 2 Millers right under the net looking for the rebound, which is stolen. And before Turner Hall can put it into the basket, he's fouled. Probably a wise foul there by Nick Mills.
Yeah, Nick Mills, the foul on the floor. Just the second team foul. Inbound, Turner Hall to Joe Counts. Down to 45 seconds first quarter.
Talking about Jamil Turner Hall, he was about the only bright spot in that game against Pike this morning. He had 17 points in that game.
That foul's on Grant Grimmel, his first, the team's 3rd on Noblesville. We'll see McGuire Plummer quickly check back in for Nick Mills so he doesn't get his 2nd foul before the first quarter's over.
With only 4 reserves on the bench, the Millers have got to be careful.
Yeah.
They can't afford to be in foul trouble.
Counts a 3 again, no. Rebound by Slane over Barnes and puts it up and in.
I think that's probably the first offensive rebound that the Tigers have had in the game. Little reach there by Jamil Turner Hall. That's the 2nd team foul.
Yeah, because it looks like Trevor Conwell was sitting right beside Zach Johnson in his sweatsuit.
Turnover there on a foul.
Yep. McGuire Plummer.
I did not see that happen.
Yeah.
Tigers have got the opportunity to close the gap a little bit more here. 15-10, 20 seconds in the first.
Jameel Turner Hall going to take his time. Fisher's hoping to get the last shot of the first quarter. Down to 10 seconds. Franklin to Slane. Now back out to Counts. He thought about that deep left wing three. Franklin. Now it's a long two. Rebound by Duncan. And we're through one quarter play. It's Noblesville 15, Fishers 10. We'll be back in just a moment for second quarter play here on Hometown Television.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Fans Community Health Network is Central Indiana's leader in providing healthcare services where and when patients need them. If you have any questions, contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or check out their website, www.ecommunity.com. I'm Brad Silbert, along with Craig Atkins. Craig, it was kind of not a seesaw back and forth there in the first period, but the Millers definitely dominated it, and the Tigers are trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, Fishers was in a 7-0 hole to start the game, and then went on an 8-6 run to trail by 5, and then Noblesville kind of just itched themselves up a little further. But Fishers they've shown some signs of promise, finally getting those buckets to fall. And then Joe Counts off the bench came in as Armand Franklin floats one no. Rico Duncan with his fourth rebound.
Another one out for the Tigers.
And Noblesville trying not to let – oh, they looked for the back door there. Yeah, they're trying not to let Fishers get any second chance points. Duncan gets it down low to Ginther, trying to find room, and it's deflected. Gets his own rebound, and Slane – Counts, right corner three, nothing but net.
Counts picks up his second three-point goal of the game. 6 points for Joe now.
And I found out that I know Joe's dad.
Oh, do you?
Yep. Saw him as we were heading downstairs to get lineups.
Another turnover there for the Millers.
Second straight steal by Jason Slane. And Fishers trails by 2. Let's see. Joe Counts, top of the key three. Got
three
it.
again.
Timeout called by Noblesville.
Two very quick threes there. And the Noblesville Millers are going to take a 30-second timeout to talk about it. And we'll remind you that from personal injury claims to complex business litigations, divorce cases, whatever, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim protects the rights of individuals, businesses, schools, government bodies, and other organizations all around Indiana in offices in Noblesville, Fishers, Merrillville, and Tipton. Contact their Noblesville office at 317-773-5320 or visit their website, www.cchalaw.com. Church, Hiddle, and Antrim.
And it makes you wonder when a timeout's called that quick, exactly, what are these coaches actually talking about? Are you drawing up one specific diagram of a play, or what are you, or are you just hammering down your points, what you want to happen?
I've got to believe that Brian McCauley was telling his team, tighten it up. You've gotten sloppy. And you could see the result of that in the fact that there were some turnovers and some missed efforts.
Well, you've got no cushion, or there's plenty of cushion between Joe Counts and his defender, and that's why he's got 3 threes. And why Fishers now has a 16-15 lead after trailing 15-10 after one quarter. Offensive foul, looks like 23 McGuire Plummer charged with that one, so that's his second personal, and Nick Mills quickly back in.
Plummer picks up his second, and once again, with only 4 players extra on the bench, the Millers have got to be careful and not get in. They've got to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah, so especially a leader like McGuire Plummer has to, watch his P's and Q's, if you will, and with that short bench, Duncan almost a steal on Turner Hall. Jackson drives. Franklin. Joe Counts not afraid to shoot the three. No, and Mertens with a long rebound.
Good rebound by Corby Mertens there. Kept the second chance away from the Tigers, which they didn't do before.
He's got long arms for as short as he looks, even though, listed at 6'3". Flincham driving on Franklin. Back out to Barnes. Now it's Mertens. He'll shoot the deep left three. No. Slaying the board. Slane's playing well coming in there. A couple steals and a couple big boards.
Did a nice job. Here's Willie Jackson.
Long two there. Slane rebounds. Good.
Good job there by Jason Slane. He was coming down the lane, saw that shot take off, and just camped down under the net there just long enough to get that rebound. Nice presence of mind there. 3-point lead for the Tigers.
Yep, that's what you need to do when someone shoots a long shot like that, like Jackson did. And Nick Mills tried to deflect the ball out of Jamil Turner Hall's hands, but unfortunately he stepped on the line when he did it. Fishers retains the ball. Turner Hall drives, almost stolen he barreled through there.
Foul.
Ryan Barnes took the charge.
If that's on Turner Hall, that's his second. That's who it's on.
Just the third foul on the Tigers. We're at the 5:03 mark, second quarter.
Total of 8 fouls called in this game. The referee, I wouldn't say they've been letting them play, but it hasn't been very rough, but just not a whole lot of fall calls. Not a lot of ticky-tacky little things.
Yeah, they're making the whoever tries to draw the foul make them earn it.
Mm-hmm.
Duncan has it, guarded heavily by Willie Jackson. Good matchup there. Fletcham thought about the three, but Franklin's got long arms.
I just really like the way Rico Duncan handles that ball.
Yep, down low, gets it to Nolan Ginther. Good pass, little bounce pass there by Duncan, and Ginther already with 8 points.
I don't think anybody on the Tigers expected Duncan to give that ball up, and Ginther was wide open.
Yeah, they kind of flooded left a little bit, overloaded the defense, and that found Nolan Ginther down low for a layup. Counts. Has a size mismatch on Flincham, but he pulls up.
Long two.
Nothing but net there.
11 points so far for Joe Counts in this contest, and we're not even halfway over.
Duncan in traffic, and I think he walked with it. Nope, timeout called.
Looked like Duncan was kind of sliding head first, an old Pete Rose style.
It's like he slid a little bit,
style slide there. Hey, I want to remind you, Logan Street Signs and Banners specializes in last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Contact them, 773-7200. Visit their website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. And don't forget, 2017, 25th anniversary for Logan Street Signs and Banners. What an accomplishment. There's a lot of businesses that come and go, but Logan Street has been there a long time. They do a good job, and they got a heck of a good ownership in there.
Oh, yeah. Great staff, and Jim said Siskel and he give it 2 thumbs up. If one could. 3:58 left until halftime. It's Fishers 20, Noblesville 17 out of the timeout. Inbound, deflected off of Armand Franklin's hands.
Another thing for the Millers is they've already used both of their 30-second timeouts here early in this game.
Long three, actually short three. Duncan can't handle the rebound, and Willie Jackson goes to the rack, and
I wouldn't say that was a hard foul, but that was a pretty good Pretty good foul there by Nolan Ginther.
He sold it for sure. Ginther went up for the block, and Jackson kind of lagged off a little bit with his arm, and I think he made sure that Ginther got contact. So Nolan Ginther with his second foul.
When you got 5'11" going up against 6'4", there is not much doubt that if there's some contact there, it's going to get physical.
Xavier Hines checks in for Noblesville for the first time tonight.
We're scheduled to talk to Dave Nicholson at halftime between halves today. Dave here in attendance tonight. Always interesting to talk to him. Interesting guy to talk to. Love his perspective on basketball.
Yep, the legendary Noblesville coach.
He's been around it longer than Perry.
Yeah. We thought Perry had been at it longer than anybody. Barnes blocks.
Gets that swatted away.
Back the other way, Armand Franklin drives. Going to be off of Jason
Slane. Yeah, it looked like it went off of Slane. Every time Ryan Barnes goes down on the floor, I think about that leg and that leg injury he had during football season, and I know the kids don't concern themselves with it, but as a parent of a former athlete, I know it's concerning. Tigers with a 5-point lead, 3:10 left in the half.
Hines back over right side. It's Flincham. Barnes screens. Flincham tries to make a move. 16-footer. Got it. He's got a nice pull-up. I think that's one thing that Max Flincham probably needs to do a little more than just try and find his spot outside the arc.
9 points for Flincham so far tonight.
22-19, 2:40 left till half. Turner Hall drives and a little teardrop.
He just saw an open lane there and just scooted right through there and got the deuce to make it back to a 5-point lead.
Now it's Flincham. He'll drive on Szilagyi, who checked back into the last dead ball. Makes a move, free throw line, behind the back he goes, off the glass.
Missed.
Not enough spin on it. Gremmel tried to block it, but Turner Hall gets the ball over him for his 9th point. Offensive foul on Noblesville.
That one's going to go on McGuire Plummer. That's his third.
Yep, 3 fouls for Plummer here in the first half.
I think that's a frustration foul because of the way that Jameel Turner Hall came down the floor, and he just eluded everybody, and I think that frustrated McGuire Plummer, and he just reacted to it.
Yeah, frustrations have to be kind of checked at the door because you just, with a short bench, you cannot do that. Turner Hall with the rebound, no. Xavier Hines goes sky high for the rebound.
3 Millers under the net to get that second chance.
Rico Duncan slowly across the timeline, trying to regroup and not let Fisher's lead get any bigger than it is at 26-19.
Xavier Hines in there. Haven't seen too much of him during the tournament.
Yeah, 16-4 run right now for Fishers. It was 15-10 through 1. That's number 5, Willie Jackson with the foul. Fishers with 4 fouls. Noblesville with 7. And we're down to 86 till half. Noblesville trying to find their offense back. Gremmel drives the pass from, and high off the glass he goes. Grant Gremmel's first 2.
Nice job of using the backboard to bank that in.
Yeah, high off the glass. Use the top of that square, if you will. And Duncan with that nice pass once again. Jackson drives. Up off the glass.
Did you see that little move, how he just got right in there between the 2 defenders and just split them?
Yep.
What a great move by Turner Hall. And he's got 11 points.
Shaded out to get his arm up there. And not too bad. Now we're down to 30 seconds here in the first half. 28-27, we got a football score. These two duked it out twice on the gridiron this year. Duncan, deep left three, no. Turner Hall, or check that, Jackson the rebound and up to Turner Hall, lefty, no. Gremmel skies for the board. 4 seconds, Flincham, long three from the letters, no. And we are at halftime. Fishers has stormed back from being down 15-10 through 1. At halftime, it's Fishers 28, Noblesville 21. We'll take a break and come back with special guest Dave Nicholson at half here on Hometown.
The IHSAA, in partnership with Blue Frame Technology, is pleased to announce that you can now watch your favorite IHSAA sports on the all-new IHSAA TV Apple TV app. Watch live or search through thousands of archived broadcasts. Have an older Apple TV? You can still watch on your TV by going to AirPlay on your iOS device and choosing Apple TV. Download the new Apple TV app now in the Apple TV App Store.
We all have our own story about community.
I truly felt that each doctor, technician, and nurse had the same goal: provide exceptional care and make it simple.
Because of my chronic illness, I have an entire team on my side.
With Community's MyChart, I keep track of everything.
When community says exceptional care, simply delivered, those aren't just 4 words at the end of a TV spot.
It's for community patients at the end of a TV spot.
I'm telling you to believe every word.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking for Logan Street signs and banners.
You found us.
But this ain't Logan Street. This is South 10th.
We moved 22 years ago.
Well, how come you didn't change the name?
That would have just confused people.
Well, actually, South 10th is Allisonville, if you're from Fishers.
Before that, it was 37A, and before that, it was State Road 37.
So you're telling me that Logan Street signs and banners isn't on Logan Street anymore? It's actually on South 10th. That's Allisonville in Fishers. And before that, it was 37A and 37?
So you got that straight?
Logan Street signs and banners conveniently not located on Logan Street, but rather South 10th Street in Noblesville.
Exactly.
Welcome back to the Mill on the campus of Noblesville High School, the Noblesville Holiday Tournament. The 7th game at this point. The Noblesville Millers are trailing the Fishers Tigers 28-21, and we are joined by one of the true legends of Indiana basketball, none other than Dave Nicholson. Dave coached for a number of years here at Noblesville and such. And Dave, it's great to have you back here. We're glad to see you.
Well, thank you. I come back and see the Millers every chance I get if I'm not working on Friday nights, and this team's getting better.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it was an interesting morning with both of these teams. The Millers looked like they were going to hang in there and maybe take Crown Point out, but boy, right there at the end, they just couldn't quite do it. And the Tigers had just exactly the opposite, a 40-point loss. Let me ask you something about that. Now, when you were a coach, when your team suffered a bad defeat, and that's all you can say it is. It was a bad loss that Fishers took this morning. What would you tell your kids? How would you get them prepared for, especially in this tournament environment?
Well, in a tournament environment where you're going to come back in just a few hours and play again, you don't dwell on it. You just start over and say, hey, that's behind us. Don't even think about it. Let's focus on coming back and getting a little of our pride back tonight, which I think they're doing.
Yeah.
But if you had a week to practice, then you might break down every segment that went wrong in that first game when they got beat badly. But when you're playing 3 games in 2 days, you just move forward. And then next week in practice, you come back to that tape. And I would break the tapes down and say, okay, here's what we did wrong, and that would be our first practice back. We'd spend time on 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'd go back to preparation for the next game.
Super. Let's just talk about Indiana basketball in general this year. Who do you see as the strong teams throughout the state this year?
Well, certainly North Central in Central Indiana is one of the strongest teams. Lawrence North has a nice ball club with Jack Kiefer, and there's, in Marion County, there's always good basketball, but I think those two probably are at the top of the list.
Well, I have seen North Central twice already this year, and I think Doug is in his 24th year there, if I remember right. I know it's well over 20, and my estimate on that, my go on that team is, I think that's one of the best teams he's had there.
He's got Wilkes, of course, but he's got a good supporting cast with them. And I would agree that it's one of his better teams. But, the way that sectional alignment is, there's 3 teams or 4 every year that could go to the Semi-State in the O format or to the Final Four.
Yeah.
So it's really a difficult sectional, as is the Carmel-Noblesville sectional.
Yeah.
2 of the better ones in the state each year. But Doug Dance have a nice ball club.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic how those 2 sectionals work. One works out of the north side of the state, one works out of the south side of the state. So a team like a Carmel or a Hamilton Southeastern or a Fishers could very easily see teams that they've already played in the form of North Central, Lawrence North, Lawrence Central. They could possibly meet in the finals. Who else throughout the state is looking strong this year?
Well, New Albany, of course. Romeo Langford, probably the best junior in the Midwest. He's rated second in the nation. As a junior, he's averaging about 29 points a game. We will see him Friday. We're covering the Hall of Fame tournament, and New Albany's in there, as is Lawrence North, and they may well meet in the championship game. They have to beat Warsaw and Logansport to get there.
I saw Romeo play in a couple games. I saw him down at Southport here recently, and I have a little bit of sympathy for New Albany because they've had a very tough schedule this year, a very tough travel schedule where they're playing in their neighborhood on Friday night, and all of a sudden they're up in Southport on Saturday morning.
Well, they've lost a couple of games to North Central, one of them down to Southport Gym that you speak of. And then they played that academy team, Lalamere, and my opinion is, why do you play them? They recruit your kids.
Yeah.
They steal our best players from the high school. And they're a combination of the best kids across the Midwest, if not the nation. I see no reason to play them and give them prime time on ESPN against one of our better high school teams.
Yeah.
I had that conversation with Jimmy Shannon this week, the coach at New Albany. His theory was, he said, there's probably only one guy in the gym from New Albany that's ever going to play on ESPN again, and that'd be Romeo. The rest of us aren't going to be there again. He saw it as a great experience for the rest of the kids, which is true.
I can see both sides of it, but
that's a good argument.
I've also got some very strong feelings about some of the quote-unquote recruiting that can go on among some of the schools and within the classes and things like that.
Particularly in the academies, they're going to kids now, and their sales speech is, we'll play 50 games next year against the best competition in the nation, while you're going to be playing 20 or 22 games in high school. And you're going to be practicing against really talented people every night. I can see that, but I still really appreciate the kid that says, hey, I'm going to support my hometown school, my hometown team.
Yeah, you just see too many of that where maybe you got a situation where mom lives in this district, dad lives in that district. Well, I think I'd rather go to this one than that one. Dave, you've been around this game a long time. What are a couple of the biggest changes you've seen as far as the way the game has progressed since you were a rookie coach and playing?
Well, one of the biggest changes has been the advance of AAU basketball, in my opinion. It was just coming into full circle when I retired in 1991. But now your best players get on a travel team. They're gone most of the summer. There's not a chance for the bonding, and when you have your individual hometown team practice and work out. And I know if the it was coming in a little bit when I left, and the top 2 players would be playing, and the other kids would say, well, where's so-and-so? Well, they're playing with their AAU team tonight. Yeah. And in the back of their mind, they say, well, if the top 2 players don't have to come in here and work, maybe I don't have to come in here and work too. So that's been the biggest change, I think, in high school basketball. A kid can go to an AAU tournament, maybe get 5 shots in a total game. He can come in an individual workout and get 300 shots and his weight program done in an hour.
Yeah.
And work on the fundamentals. So I really don't think the fundamentals are better than they were before.
You know, one of the things I've noticed in all the years, I've been in Fishers now since 1989 doing this, and it just seems like the speed of the game is just so much faster now than what it was 5, 10. Every year it gets faster.
There's no question the players are more athletic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because of starting earlier in a strength program and an individual workout program. Kids are better athletes, they jump higher, they're quicker, and so on.
Well, Dave, we really appreciate you being here with us and filling us in on some of your wisdom here at halftime, and good luck with your broadcast in the Hall of Fame, and we'll be watching you guys on Friday from Newcastle.
Well, thank you, and you guys do a great job. My wife and I watch it all the time.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Dave Nicholson. Of course, he will be part of the broadcast team that will be bringing the Hall of Fame Classic to everybody this coming weekend. Before we get back to action, I want to remind you that Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you same-day service for last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391. Check them out on the web, www.noblesvilletrophies.com. Back to action and back to Craig.
Noblesville with the basketball going left to right. They dip it down low. Duncan does to Ginther. Up and tries to go off the glass. It gets deflected by Jamil Turner Hall. And back the other way goes Fishers right to left. Didn't get a chance to hear your conversation with Dave Nicholson, but I'm sure it was great.
Always an interesting guy. I really enjoy talking about history of the game and things, and he was talking. I asked him, I said, what do you think the best, who are some of the better teams in the state this year? And, of course, he was talking locally here about
what a
North Central.
Save.
Oh, my.
But unfortunately, Corby Mertens.
I think that went off of Mertens.
Yep, I believe it did.
Mertens was thinking it went off of Fishers, but
a
I believe
beautiful save by Duncan.
Yeah, but what an effort. Yeah, he was talking about the great team down at North Central this year. Doug Mitchell, what a team he's got with. I think it's Wilkes down there.
Yeah, Chris Wilkes, the UCLA commit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure anybody's going to touch them.
And Lawrence North, he says, is another good one, and of course New Albany, who I've gotten to see twice already this year. Romeo Langford down there. What a ball player.
And what was it? Somebody tweeted it out last week. I think it was. I'm not sure if it was Greg Rakestraw or who it was. Don't quote me on that, or if Greg, you're watching. But someone Googled, and I guess lately there are more Google attempts on Romeo Langford than Romeo and Juliet. So he's up on William Shakespeare. Terry Hicks the rebound off the Max Flincham 3 miss. Back to the way quickly comes Fishers and Jamil Turner Hall high off the glass and in.
Turner Hall is doing exactly what he needs to be doing for the Tigers.
So Noblesville finds itself down 9 points after having a 5-point lead through one. Duncan, fade away. No.
Earlier today, Duncan was hitting that shot consistently. There's going to be a foul on the Tigers.
A reach-in foul.
I think that's going to go on Armand Franklin, I believe.
I think that went to 11, Reed Stevens. I thought that would be on Franklin also, but Reed Stevens first.
Yep.
Got to get it in, and he does. Flincham, now Mertens, back over to Duncan. Yeah, the past few games, I've been pretty impressed with Rico Duncan's play at point guard. Mertens, left wing, deep three, got it.
Wow.
It's kind of cool seeing it from the angle we have up here in the box to see it just float in.
Corby Mertens gets his first points of the game.
(30-24), 2.5 minutes into the second half.
The Millers are going to need some more Mertens points here if they're going to get back into this one. Looks like that one's going to go on Mertens.
And McGuire Plummer with his 3 fouls jumps off the bench. Give Duncan a little breather.
A little bit surprised to see Plummer back in this early.
Szilagyi, left corner 3. Got it. Rattles it in over the outreached hands of Nolan Ginther, and it's back to a 9-point Fishers margin.
First points of the game for Szilagyi, and if he gets hot, that could be trouble for the Millers.
Yeah, Joe Counts. There are a few different hands. You don't want to get the ball outside 3-point land. Plummer to Barnes. Flincham looked for a 3, but no.
Flincham, the leading scorer for the Millers right now with 9.
Ginther. Free throw line. Back out to Max Flincham.
It's really odd to see both of these teams playing man-to-man defense, Perry. You don't see that very often. Craig, excuse me.
That's all right.
You knew that was going to happen.
Down low. Dish from Jameel Turner-Hall to Terry Hicks. And
nice move.
Hicks with his first bucket. Noblesville calls a timeout there, down 35-24 to Fishers at the 4:22 mark here of the third quarter.
Van Smith Jewelers has been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, and Carmel, for over 65 years. Many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith's remains. If one was to ask how and why, the answer certainly would be their outstanding jewelry selection and customer service. A knowledgeable staff at Smith's is eager to give their customers a memorable, positive experience. Contact them at 317-773-3383 or visit them online at smithsonthesquare.com. We're about halfway through this third quarter, and so far the Millers have only managed to put up one field goal, that in the form of a 3-point Corby Mertens field goal, whereas the Tigers have put 7 more points on the board.
Yeah, it seems like Fishers is they're able to do everything they want to do, and Noblesville's trying to stop it. But Fishers is getting those, the second chances, or they're knocking down a 3, and 7-3 to start this third quarter, and Fishers trying not to let their foot off the gas.
Well, it's evident that this is a different second-half team than we saw earlier today.
So back out of the timeout, Noblesville has it. They have Mertens, Plummer, Barnes, Flincham, and Ginther. Hicks, Franklin, Szilagyi, Turner Hall, and Stevens for Fishers. And then we've got a foul down low. I think that might be Terry Hicks. And
yep, that's who it's going to be. Hicks picks up his first. Second team foul of the half. Not many fouls called in this game so
Mertens,
far.
The right corner 3, in and out.
Hicks did a nice job of getting the initial rebound and then getting it down the floor.
Shot blocked by Ryan Barnes, deflected into the hands of McGuire Plummer, and back comes Noblesville. Spin move by Ginther, back out to Flincham. They'll reset and float it around. Flincham, 18-footer, no. Franklin skied for that board, and here comes Fishers looking to make something happen. Ooh,
Szilagyi traveled.
Yeah, he got a little anxious.
Well, he was going to shoot and changed his mind and did not shoot. If he would have shot, he probably wouldn't have traveled.
Well, back comes Joe Counts off the bench. Also, Rico Duncan back in for Noblesville along with Grant Gremmel.
Duncan has yet to score in this game.
Plummer, right side now, it's Rico Duncan. Up top, it's Gremmel, now left side to Plummer, waiting for somebody to get open. Finds Ginther, he drives down on Counts, up off the glass and in.
Nice reaction there by Nolan Ginther to pick up point number 10.
Yep, he's got 10, and it's under 10
Foul was called before the shot.
On the floor. If that's Ginther, that's 3 on the 6'4" senior forward. That foul was on the floor. Turner Hall. Inbound pass stolen by Gremmel. Now
Miller's with some minor foul trouble at this point.
Ball deflected by Szilagyi. Now Turner Hall up and over Grant Gremmel.
He's just got such a smooth move to that basket.
And like you said, Jamil's had a good tournament overall. Back to an 11-point lead for Fishers.
He had 18 in their victory over Columbus North.
Rico Duncan.
Duncan finally gets on the board for the Millers.
He's got a pair, and that's a handful of assists for McGuire Plummer. Noblesville going to try and keep Fishers off the board this possession, but it's back to a 9-point Fishers lead. Szilagyi to Counts for 3, got it. Joe Counts with his 4th 3. He's got 14 points. Down low, Ginther trying to make a move on Counts. Up, tried to get the and-one with the old-fashioned three-point play. He'll have to try and earn 2 at the line.
Counts is going to pick up his first personal foul. Believe it or not, this is the first free throw of the entire game.
Wow.
Ginther will take 2 shots.
Makes the first.
Ginther is 64% free throw shooter. Incidentally, Max Flincham, his streak of perfection on foul shots went awry in the earlier game today. He was perfect coming into the game, but he did miss one. He is human.
Yeah, he is human. He can miss some. He can miss some free throws. Second one up, off the back of the iron, and a rebound by Joe Counts.
Ginther put that one up just a little bit hard. That one hit the back of the rim.
Ginther's got 11. Fishers is up 11, 40-29. A minute 45 here in the third. Counts thought about that 3. He's got the huge size mismatch on Rico Duncan. Floater from Jackson? No. Rebound to the short Duncan. Not afraid to get in there and board at the trees.
Jackson and Jamil Hall-Turner. Boy, they're 2 peas in a pod, you know.
Short end. Nick Mills with the rebound.
And he calls a timeout.
Started falling out of bounds.
That will have to be, let's see, that'll have to be a full timeout.
His first 2 timeouts he used.
And there will only be 1 timeout left for the Millers after this. Hey, Craig, let's talk a little bit about Mark Hairbrandt and some of the things that he's been involved here lately here with the county as our county commissioner in District 3.
Yeah, I mean, you witness it pretty much, I would say, every day being over there in the Fishers area. But the 106th Street corridor looks really good.
Yeah, I live very close to that, and I've got to tell you, it's increased some traffic.
Oh, I bet.
But it does flow much, much better.
Well, one of the main intents out of that is obviously that new IKEA store that's going to be built eventually. And
that's coming along quite well.
Yeah, that'll increase more traffic over there in your neck of the woods. And, just $100 million in state spending, county spending, improving the roads. Some people complain about all the roundabouts, but I honestly think roundabouts are much better than four-way stops.
Once you get accustomed to them, I like them.
Yeah,
I like them. I've got 3 within a mile of my house now.
I would say I've got a few also, and every time we go visit my brother and his family in Zionsville, we take 116th Street straight west, and it's I want to say 6 roundabouts and a couple stoplights, and it's much easier to get to their house. Back out of the timeout, and little bump foul maybe.
Joe Counts.
Yep.
Just kind of swatted at that ball and picked up that foul. That's going to be his second.
It's almost like Nolan Ginther baited him on that.
Yeah.
And we'll see Ryan Barnes come back in for Ginther. Yeah, he kind of baited him there, and that's 14 fouls on Fishers.
Ginther's also playing with 3 fouls. I'm sure Coach Brian McCauley wants to make sure he's got him for later in this game.
Flincham and Mertens, kind of a little toss back and forth. 50 seconds left, third quarter. Duncan spins. That ball's deflected by Willie Jackson. Now it's Jamil Turner Hall. Counts. Top of the key 3.
He cannot
miss from outside. 5 threes. Counts has 17 points to lead all scorers.
Well, between Counts and Turner Hall, they have had 90% of the offense for the Tigers tonight.
Flincham drives and baseline jumper no good, but he got fouled on the attempt. Yeah, it's good when dear old dad's in attendance to play like this.
Mm-hmm. Jackson picks up his second, but more important, the Millers are going to have a chance to put some points on the board while the clock is not moving. And
who better?
Flincham gets the first one. He's only missed 1 all season so far.
He's got
that happened
10
earlier
points.
today.
Yep. He has 10 points. Ginther with 11 for Noblesville, and now Flincham with 11. As he makes both free throws, 43-31. Final seconds, third quarter. Turner Hall counts, fakes it. He'll drive inside. Easy off the glass.
Nice
and
move.
in. Basket's good on the layup.
Counts is going to get 1 extra.
So just like Flincham, Counts can do more than shoot threes. He can do a little flash to the basket. Ryan Barnes with that foul
Barnes
for Noblesville.
picks up his first.
So Joe Counts with 19 points and looking to make it a 15-point Fishers lead if he can this old-fashioned attempt. And he does. You know, it seems this is weird to say, but we'll talk about this in the beginning of the fourth quarter about Joe Counts. Down to 5 seconds. Rico Duncan has it. Shake and bake. 16 feet. No. Rebound, Turner Hall, and we're through 3 quarters. Fishers extends their lead out to a 46-31 lead on Noblesville. We'll be back in just moments here on Hometown Television.
The IHSAA, in partnership with Blue Frame Technology, is pleased to announce that you can now watch your favorite IHSAA sports on the all-new IHSAA TV Apple TV app. Watch live or search through thousands of archived broadcasts. Have an older Apple TV? You can still watch on your TV by going to AirPlay on your iOS device and choosing Apple TV. Download the new Apple TV app now in the Apple TV App Store.
Welcome back to the Mill, the consolation game of the Noblesville Holiday Tournament, with the Fishers Tigers ahead of the Noblesville Millers 46-31. Say fans, no job is too small or too big for Indiana Restoration Services. Whether you're a homeowner or a large business experiencing a water, fire, or storm, or just a homeowner that simply needs a good carpet cleaning, Indiana Restoration has you covered. Contact them at 317-776-9942 or visit them online, www.indianarestoration.com. Craig, quite a third quarter for the Tigers.
Yeah, quite a third quarter, 18-10. They took that one for Noblesville, and Fishers starting to step on the gas pedal a little more and almost putting it into cruise control as we start the fourth quarter. Oh, off the hands of the newly entered Steve Sontich off the Fishers bench.
I think Sontich just plain and simple took his eyes off the ball, thought he had that, and turned his head a little, and the ball just went right through his hands.
46-31. McGuire Plummer back in there with his 3 personals. He dips it down low to Ginther. Back looking. Oh, used his off arm, but no call.
No, there is a call on that. It looks like that's going to go on Jason Slane, I think.
Yep, 33.
Yeah. Slane is picking up his second foul. 6th team foul of the half. That's going to put Ginther at the line for 2. He's 1 for 2 so far from the line tonight.
And sinks that one.
Now 2 for 3.
The team is 4 for 6 are the Millers. Fishers 3 out of 3.
Ginther gets both ends of that.
Good.
Both of those were right on. Miller's putting a little bit of full court pressure on, but not much.
Yeah, they may have to do something a little more often than starting at the beginning of the fourth quarter with the full court press if they want to put any dent in this 13-point Fishers lead for sure. Slane down low, no. Ginther with the board, high off the glass.
Once again, the Millers denying the Tigers a second chance.
Flincham with Stontich on him. Now it's Mertens, left corner three. Easy, does it over counts. And he's got 6, 1 tray in each quarter.
Corby Mertens continue to light up the three-point board here. This could get very, very interesting very quickly. There's a good job of stealing.
McGuire Plummer off the glass and in. And Joe Leonard wants to talk about it. Timeout not called, but Willie Jackson scores 2 anyway.
Jackson with only 4 points tonight. 10-point lead for the Tigers.
Mertens, right side three, got it.
Got it.
Now it's down to a 7-point Fishers lead.
I told you, Craig, if Mertens starts getting hot, game is going to tighten up real quick.
Look, you see somebody a little more size like Steve Stontich guarding Max Flincham, so who better to leave open than Corby Mertens?
Mertens scored 12 and 17 in the previous games.
Jackson drives.
Block.
Mertens deflects. Actually, Ginther deflects. Mertens corralled it. Back comes. It's Duncan. He says, give me the ball, does Corby. Down low to Ginther. Good.
I think Joe Leonard has probably seen enough now, and he needs to take a timeout. He's going to take a full timeout. And while he is doing that, Craig, let's talk about Noblesville Trophies, the large range of products that they offer, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out, www.noblesvilletrophies.com. A 15-point lead at the quarter. Less than 3 minutes into this quarter, has shrank to 5.
Yeah, down to 5. Noblesville is 5. I think they're kind of waking themselves up after having that 15-10 first quarter lead, and they've kind of let Fishers take over the middle 2 quarters, and now it's a 12-2 run to start this fourth quarter, and looks like Coach Brian McCauley making some good points to his team down there, and they're making the right plays defensively. Kind of frustrating Fishers.
Yeah, the Tigers had it all their way in the in the third quarter, outscoring the Millers easily 18-10 in that quarter to take that 15-point lead, and now that 15-point lead is almost all the way gone with the Millers creeping back in there. They're only 5 points away from the Tigers right now.
Full court pressure again. Kind of more spread out. As it's Jackson, Xavier Hines on him. Out of Franklin. Gets it, Jamil Turner Hall. Down low to Slane. Up off the glass and over.
That was a nice move by Slane.
He's got 6.
Better move by Turner Hall to get it into him.
Off the glass high. Plummer tried to draw a foul, and Franklin kind of slowly gets up. Hines. Willie Jackson.
Jackson looks like he's coming alive, picking up his 6th point of the game.
52-43, back to a 9-point Fishers lead. Now it's Flincham down low. Ginther up. Got it. Nice move off the glass, kind of shaded his defender, made sure he could get the ball off the glass and convert it. Ginther having a whale of a ball game. He's got 17
points. Who did they call that last foul on? I didn't see. Who was that last foul on, Perry?
I tried to catch it. Do you want me to ask Perry? Or?
Yeah, ask Craig.
Let's see. Ginther converts the old-fashioned three-point play, and he's got 18 points, a career high for the 6'4" senior. We'll try and see who.
See if we can figure it out here. 2-2-1.
Oh, whoever it was got substituted in for. Salaji came in at that foul.
I can't tell who it was.
It may have been on Slane.
In any case, the Tigers now have 7 team fouls, which means that the Millers are going to be shooting 1-1 for the rest of the game.
Ginther with the steal.
That time it looks like it was Jamil Turner who got him. That's who it is. Jamil Turner Hall picks it up. That's the 8th team foul.
His 3rd.
That's going to put Ginther at the line for a 1-1. Or is that going to be a 2?
I believe he was shooting up 2 shots. The official's holding up.
Misses the first one.
Ginther 4 out of 6 from the charity stripe. He'll have one more here to try and make it 19. Yep, his previous career high for Nolan Ginther was at Anderson. And now his career high is itching even further up at 19 points, and Noblesville trails by 5, 52-47 to Fishers. Jamil Turner Hall drives baseline, floats it. No, Ginther the board. At this point, Brady's working on a double-double. I think he's got 7 or 8 boards.
Mm-hmm.
Duncan, now to Hines. Duncan Hines. That's Cakes, right?
Yep. Oh, my.
Yep, that is Willie Jackson.
Yeah, Terry Hicks picks that up. 9th. That'll be a 1-1 this time for Ginther.
He's 5 out of 7 from the line so far.
Flincham comes back in for the Millers.
Misses the first and didn't get to shoot the other half of the bonus. Tried to, if he would have made both or converted both.
Could have been down to a 3-point game.
Could have been down to a 1 possession. And Plummer and Duncan tried to converge on Franklin, but the ball was off of Plummer. 3 minutes exactly on our fourth quarter clock in, dare I say, regulation, Brad.
Well, this could be one of those games that could go to OT very easily.
Oh, yeah. Up top, Salaji for 3. And it looked like deflected either off Ginther or Duncan to keep it Fisher's ball.
Salaji with only 3 points so far in this game tonight. He had 14 yesterday and 5 this morning.
Kind of a scramble on the floor there. Oh, almost a steal. Yep, that's going to be a reach in. Plummer knew that was going to be the call there.
That's going to be his 4th. Still non-shooting for the Tigers.
Yeah, just 4 team fouls for Noblesville, 9 for Fishers.
That could be important down the pike here.
Yep, especially right now with Noblesville having 5 seniors on the floor. 2:35 here in the fourth. Fisher's trying to take their time, but Noblesville trying to get the ball out of their hands and get it back down in their end. Turner Hall to Salaji.
Turner Hall and Counts have been the two hot hands for the Tigers today.
Turner Hall drives up, no.
Misses.
Ginther the board, and
they're going to call that a jump ball.
We'll give it to Noblesville.
Good effort on both the parts of Ginther and Turner. You had a 6-footer against a 6'4", and comes out a draw.
2:05 here in the fourth. Noblesville back with possession after the jump ball. Duncan, left side. He'll try and find an open teammate. Yep, he walked, and he also...
Yes, he did.
I hear Jim off my left ear. He did carry the ball as well.
But he walked first.
Yep. So Nick Mills will check in here at the dead ball. Yeah, good idea there by McGuire Plummer as he found a lane to the basket, but you A, can't take extra steps, and B, if you didn't get called for the travel, it would have been a carry. So now the pressure is on. Szilagyi finds his way out of it. Ooh, almost a steal by Nick Mills. And now Turner Hall will back it out.
Szilagyi
inside the arc. No. Turner Hall the rebound.
Gonna count it.
Yep, basket's good. That'll be on Nick Mills, his second personal.
Fifth on the team. Hall will get one free throw, and that is the first free throw for the Tigers in the entire game. That's hard to believe.
Check that out. That'll be Duncan's first foul.
Oh, was that on Duncan?
Yep.
Okay.
Hall makes the first. Actually,
I thought it was on Mills.
Only free throw. They had a foul up there for Mills, and I hope I'm not off at this point. Minute 15 left, fourth quarter. Dips it down low to Ginther. Tries to make room on Slane. No. Deflects it off, and Duncan tries to grab the board, and it goes out of bounds.
Duncan, a very popular player here, hugging the fans on the way down. The Tigers have very quietly gone back out to an 8-point lead with 1:05 remaining here in the game.
Yeah, they've got the ball down at the far end. Pressure by Mills and Duncan, and
jump ball, but the Tigers have got the arrow. The Millers are going to have to foul quickly here, and at the same time, Joe Leonard decides he's going to call a timeout. That's going to be a full timeout. So the Tigers will be down to 2 timeouts. The Millers are down to 1. And let's remind you once again that Logan Street Signs and Banners specializes in last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200. Visit their website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. Barry, let's set this up here. 1 minute, 1 second on the clock. We're in the fourth quarter. The Tigers are going to have possession of the ball. They have an 8-point lead. The Millers have still got one foul to give before they put the Tigers into the 1-and-1. So an interesting situation here. Do the Millers have it in them to close this 8-point gap in a minute and 1 second?
Well, they're going to have to figure out exactly how to, not give Fishers any lanes up the floor and, kind of put on a suffocating, if you will, full court press and kind of seal off every possible way to pass to, an open man. And Noblesville needs to steal the ball if they're going to try and, dip into this 8-point
the Millers
lead.
are going to have the ball in the hands of either Flincham,
Oh, wow,
or
they
Ginther.
caught a break right here as Joe Counts butterfingers right in front of the Noblesville bench, and that'd be a lot of pressure in front of the opponent's bench nonetheless. But the ball slips out of his hands from the inbound of.
Going to probably see a lot of in and out here in this last minute.
Oh, offense-defense sub type deal.
Yeah, with McGuire Plummer coming back on the offensive side for the Millers.
Mertens in to McGuire Plummer. He makes a move. Now Flincham, left corner, 3. Got it.
Well, we said it had to go to one of those guys, and it got to one of them. It's down to a 5-point game.
He found it, and they find Joe Counts down low, up and over McGuire Plummer, and Counts with 22 points.
That's the kind of play that makes coaches upset.
Corby Mertens.
But Mertens comes right back with 2 for the Millers.
With a teardrop. Corby's got 11, and it's 57-52. Noblesville calls their final timeout with 34.4 on the board.
Well, that could be big because they have any difficulty getting a ball in, and they're going to get a 5-second count easily, Perry. But they've still got some work to do, but they've got time to do it. It was when we stopped just about 25 seconds ago, it was an 8-point lead. Now it's down to a 5-point lead. Also, the arrow is pointing toward the Millers. So if they can tie the ball up, that's definitely going to go back to the Millers. So it's a at least a two-possession game here, any way you look at it. And the Millers, obviously, they're going to want to get this ball into the hand of Corby Mertens or to Max Flincham or to Nolan Ginther. They have been the leading scorers tonight for the Millers. And for the Tigers, Joe Leonard is going to want the ball in the hands of either Jamil Turner or Joe Counts, because they have accounted for 22 and 16 respectively on the scoreboard tonight for the Tigers. Jeremy Salaji having a very, very low-scoring night with 1 3-point goal for the evening.
Back to it out of the timeout. Fishers being hounded by the Noblesville full-court press, and like a little 3-man weave action, breaks it, and looks like Corby Mertens fouls Willie Jackson.
Mertens is going to pick up the foul, but it's number 6. So from this point on, we're just going to have to see how the Millers are going to play this, if they're going to be willing to put the Tigers on the line and make them earn them, or if they're going to maybe back off a little bit here. It's a choice up to Brian McCauley, how they want to play it.
Slane inbounds. The ball is deflected, and Slane recovers, but he's fouled. Ooh.
I think Rico Duncan is going to pick that one up.
I think he may regret that one because the ball kind of deflected off of Slane as he fouled him.
Yeah, that does go against Rico Duncan. That's his second. Number 7 on the Millers, and that's going to put Jason Slane on the free throw line with a 1-and-1. 24.4. Hold on to your hats. This one is far from over.
Yeah, and while we've got a stoppage in play, Brad, I want to say a huge thank you to Noblesville Athletic Director Mike Hash, not only for this great tournament that he's helped put together for the past 5 seasons, but the past 6 school years that he's been here at the helm at Noblesville. He's resigning as of the end of this evening's festivities.
Hash is a class act. 3 on the way.
Rebound by Ginther, and Slane strips it out of Ginther's hand.
And Rico Duncan is going to pick up the foul very, very quickly.
Duncan's 3rd foul, and the only positive out of that sequence there was that was Ginther's 10th board, but he just couldn't hang on to it fully.
Jamil Turner Hall is going to have 1-and-1. Only the 2nd free throw for the Tigers tonight. $17 points now for Turner Hall. I second your feelings for Michael Hash. A class act, and we are very sorry to see him leave, but also understand that as you have a family and stuff, that family counts too. And, boy, it's tough being an athletic director and having a family.
Amen to that.
And especially if they don't live in the town where you are.
McGuire Plummer strong with the layup, and that will do it for this one. As the final score in this 3rd place game, Fishers 59, Noblesville 52. So the Millers end on a 21-13 fourth quarter, but come up short by 7. And tremendous effort, but came up short by 7 here against the Fishers Tigers.
Well, before we wrap this up, Craig, I'd like to thank all of our great hometown sponsors. That includes Ivy Tech, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Mark Hairbrand, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, and Indiana Restoration. Also like to thank Perry Williams for his support. He's sitting over here next to us, and our executive producer, Jim Wofford. It's been a long 2 days for Jim. I think he's got some toothpicks under those eyelids right now trying to stay awake. His son Will up there on the cameras, and
he may be asleep up there.
Both Lucas and Ben, who were here during the tournament and made all this possible for us. Well, it was an interesting game to say the least, Craig. The Millers came out in the first quarter and took control of the game. Second time the Tigers have come out in this competition and fallen behind early, but then second quarter was a huge quarter for the Fishers Tigers. They went to the locker room with a 28-21 lead. After 3, it was 46-31. Final score 59-52. Got to give a lot of credit to the Millers, though. Nolan Ginther kept them in the game with 19 points. Max Flincham, I have 14, and Kobe Mertens for 11. Rico Duncan with 2, and Grant Gremmel with 2. Now, for the victorious Fishers Tigers, it was all Jamil Turner Hall and Joe Counts. Between the two of them, 40 points, 18 for Turner Hall and 22 for Joe Counts. Willie Jackson with 6, Jeremy Slane with 6, and Terry Hicks with 2. Our next broadcast is coming up a week from Saturday. That will be, I believe, a girls' game at Hamilton Heights, an afternoon game, Hamilton Heights.
Does that mean you?
I think it's. I know I'm going to be there. I'm not sure if you were scheduled to be there or if
I believe it is me.
Jack is going to be there or who's going to be there. I'm scheduled to be there. I know Jim will be there. He never misses a game.
Trust me, look at his eyes.
Your final thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, it's when 3 Flincham, Mertens, and Ginther combined for 44 of Noblesville's 52 points. That's probably something that tells your coach that we've got to find other avenues to get the ball in the hole, and it can't be just those 3 guys. It's got to be an even distribution throughout the lineup, or else it's going to be one long winner.
Well, once again, we would like to thank the entire staff here at Noblesville High School for putting on this tournament, the tremendous job that they have all done, and it's been our pleasure to be part of it. And we will see every one of you a week from Saturday when we are at Hamilton Heights. For Craig Atkins, my name is Brad Silbert. Good night.